The movie begins with Will driving through the Hollywood Hills with his girlfriend Kira. They are on their way to a dinner party. The party is being held at the house Will used to share with his ex-wife, Eden. As they drive, Kira brings up how Eden met her new husband, David, while going through grief counseling. Suddenly, a coyote runs into the road. Will accidentally hit it with the car. The animal is badly hurt, so Will uses a tire iron to end its suffering. When they arrive at the house, which sits deep in the canyons of Los Angeles, Will immediately has a quick memory flash. He sees a little boy coloring in the living room. This memory fades as friends start greeting him. He hasn't seen most of them in 2 years. There's Tommy and his boyfriend Miguel, a woman named Gina, who says her boyfriend Choi is running late, and old friends Claire and Ben. Then Eden shows up, along with her new husband, David. Will greets them both. David says they're all there to celebrate something special. Tommy encourages Will to try the wine, telling him it's very expensive. As everyone raises their glasses to toast, Will notices a half-naked woman watching him from a nearby room. She walks out and is introduced as Sadie. Eden tells everyone that she met Sadie during her time in Mexico. Kira shares the story about the coyote and how Will had to kill it. David reacts by saying Will did the right thing by ending its pain. Later, Will heads into the kitchen to get a glass of water. As he looks at the sink, he flashes back to a painful memory. Eden once tried to kill herself in that very spot. Just then, Eden walks in. Will asks her why there are bars on the windows. She explains that she had them installed for protection when she was living there alone. Eden brings up her time in Mexico again. She tells Will she's changed. She's no longer in pain. Before Will can say much, Ben walks in and joins the conversation. Eden now tells Ben that grief and pain are just chemicals in the brain and can be removed. Ben jokes that she sounds like a brochure and says her new beliefs seem strange. Eden laughs at first, but when Ben calls it crazy, she slaps him hard and quickly leaves the room. Ben turns to Will and quietly asks how he's doing, considering everything he's been through. Will still looks emotionally wounded and distant. Eden comes back to the group and apologizes to Ben. She offers him a drink and he says he would never turn one down. Meanwhile, Claire pulls Will aside so they can talk privately. They mention they haven't seen each other in years. Suddenly, a man named Pruitt arrives. Sadie, Eden, and David all seem very happy to see him. Gina still seems annoyed that her boyfriend Choi hasn't arrived yet. She complains about the bad phone signal in the hills. David walks over and locks the front door. Will sees this and watches closely. David notices Will staring and explains that there was a recent home invasion nearby. Will suggests that David leave the key in the door, just in case they need to leave quickly. David agrees. Then Eden asks Will to grab more firewood. Will passes by a bedroom, but continues walking toward the backyard. As he walks, he remembers a child's birthday party. From outside, Will looks back at the house and sees Eden hiding something in her nightstand. When Will comes back inside with the wood, he sneaks into Eden's bedroom. He opens the drawer and finds a small, unmarked pill bottle. He takes a few pills and hides them in his pocket. In the master bathroom, he has another flashback. He remembers a time when he and Eden were in the bathtub together, and their young son walked in to say goodnight. Back in the living room, the conversation turns to the strange beliefs of Eden, David, Sadie, and Pruitt. The guests realize these four are part of a group called The Invitation. They all joke about it at first. David tells them that The Invitation is a group that helps people deal with grief. He says there are thousands of members all over the world. Then he says he wants to show everyone a video. The video shows the group's leader, who talks about how the brain can heal itself. He claims that he can help people overcome trauma completely. Then the video shifts to a disturbing scene. A sick woman lies in bed while members help her commit suicide. This upsets the guests. Eden tells them that the woman is permitted to be filmed to show that death isn't scary. David shares that he used to use cocaine to deal with grief, but now feels calm and balanced thanks to the invitation. Eden adds that she is finally happy, even though she once felt crushed by sorrow every day. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. David and Pruitt go to answer it and talk quietly with some neighbors outside. At the same time, Gina walks over to Will. She says she's sorry for staying distant the past few years. She explains that she wanted to give him space to grieve. Will listens but is distracted. He sees David at the door and overhears him saying the neighbors were just looking for another party. Will shows Miguel, a doctor, the pills he secretly took from Eden's bedroom. Miguel tells him it's a barbiturate, only dangerous if someone takes too much. Meanwhile, the group is offered more wine, and they all raise a toast. Will quietly asks Tommy and Miguel if they feel like something something is wrong tonight, but Tommy brushes it off, saying it's just a friendly reunion. To make up for showing everyone a strange video earlier, David suggests they play a game called I Want. In this game, each person shares what they truly want. Sadie starts by saying she wants to tell everyone she loves them. Then she surprises everyone by kissing Gina on the lips. Gina jokingly says she wants the same drugs David used to do. David reveals he still has some. Gina says she was only kidding, but David insists she wasn't. That's the point of the game. She accepts. Then Pruitt speaks. He says he wants to talk about his wife, Margaret. He explains that she died after he hit her during an argument and she fell. He went to jail for IT, but says it didn't fix his inner anger. Joining the invitation helped him find peace. Now he just wants to be with Margaret again someday. Claire starts to feel uneasy, saying the conversation sounds like a sales pitch for the cult. Sadie interrupts by saying she wants to kiss Ben, which she does passionately. Tommy jokes that he wants a blowjob. Claire finally says she wants to leave. David tries to talk her out of it, but Will stands up and says she should be allowed to go. Claire heads out, but Pruitt follows, saying he parked behind her and needs to move his car. Will watches from the window, worried. Pruitt does move his car, but then he stops Claire just as she's about to drive away. Before Will can see more, David distracts him and pulls him aside for a private talk. David asks why Will is so suspicious about locked doors, the missing friend, and now Pruitt. Will says maybe he wasn't ready to return to the house where he once lived with Eden and their now dead son. At dinner, Will spaces out and remembers his son's birthday, the day he died in an unseen accident. He steps outside to clear his head and tries to use his phone, but there's no signal. When he goes back in, he sees Sadie making strange faces in the mirror. Then, outside again, Sadie follows him and starts flirting heavily, even offering to have sex right there. Will rejects her and tells her to go back inside. Tommy joins Will outside. Will tells him things feel wrong, but Tommy says Claire left because she's socially awkward and Choi is just unreliable. Will gets a brief phone signal and hears a voicemail from Choi. Choi says he had arrived early but forgot dessert and asked Will to bring it. That means Choi was at the house, but no one saw him. Back inside, the lights go out. Eden enters with a cake for Miguel, even though his birthday isn't today. When the lights return, Will asks again, where is Choi? He shares the voicemail and starts accusing the group of hiding something. He questions why they were invited after 2 years, why cult members are present, and why Eden has dangerous pills in her room. Kira urges Will to leave with her, but just then the doorbell rings. It's Choi. He explains he got called back to work after arriving early. Everyone now looks at Will like he's paranoid. Will breaks down and apologizes to Kira, saying he doesn't know what's real anymore. Will goes to the bathroom and remembers teaching his son to wash his hands. Kira comforts him, but he says he's still broken and she can't fix it, which upsets her. Will then walks through the house and finds Eden lighting a red lantern in the backyard. Will finds the laptop that played the earlier video and watches more. A cult leader says people shouldn't be afraid and that peace awaits them if they give themselves over. At the same time, Pruitt knocks and says everyone is waiting. Upstairs, everyone gets another glass of wine. David tells them to take a moment to look at each other and toast to a better world. Gina drinks hers immediately. Will suddenly freaks out and smashes the glasses, yelling at everyone not to drink. Sadie goes wild and attacks him. Will pushes her into a dresser. She hits her head and falls. While the group checks on Sadie, Kira notices Gina is not breathing. Gina is foaming at the mouth. Miguel tries CPR, but David shoots him. Pruitt grabs the gun, kills Choi, and moves to another part of the house. The others try to escape, but Tommy, angry and grieving Miguel, charges Eden. She stabs him. Will and Kira run, chased by Sadie. They hide in a room, watching David and Pruitt kill Ben in the backyard. Will tells Kira they have to survive no matter what. It's the only way. They sneak out and see Eden upset, wanting peace, but not prepared for all the killing. Will sees that the garage door is missing. Pruitt finds them, but Will fights him. Kira finishes him off with a fireplace poker. Eden appears, shoots Will, then shoots herself. David now returns with a knife, but Tommy, still alive, kills him. Eden, still barely alive, tells Will she misses their son and wants to die outside. Will carries her out. As she dies, sirens, dogs, and helicopters fill the air. Will and Kira look over the hill and see dozens of red lanterns. They realize this wasn't just one house. The same deadly plan is happening all over the city.